The atmosphere inside the arena was electric, a charged silence buzzing beneath the roar of thousands who knew they were about to witness something special. On one side stood Abner Mares, young, fearless, sharp as a blade, already carrying the confidence of a future champion. On the other side was Daniel Ponce De Leon, the rugged Mexican warrior, known for his raw power, relentless pressure, and a left hand that had ended many nights early. This was not just another bout. It was a clash of styles, generations, and destinies. As the fighters walked toward the ring, you could feel the tension tightening with every step. The crowd was split, flags waving, voices clashing, pride on the line. When the bell finally rang, it was clear that neither man came to survive. They came to dominate. From the opening seconds, Mares showed why he was considered one of the most technically gifted fighters of his era. He moved with precision, light on his feet, eyes locked on Ponce de Leon like a hunter studying his prey. His jabs snapped out fast and clean, disrupting the rhythm of the aggressive Mexican challenger. Ponce de Leon, however, was not intimidated. He pressed forward with relentless intent, throwing looping hooks and heavy straight shots, aiming to turn the fight into a war. The contrast was beautiful. Mares calm and calculated, Ponce de Leon wild and dangerous. Every exchange carried threat, every punch thrown with bad intentions. The crowd erupted as leather cracked against flesh, knowing this fight would not go quietly. As the rounds progressed, the intensity only increased. Mares began to settle into his groove, timing Ponce de Leon's forward rushes with brutal accuracy. Crisp combinations flowed from his hands, jab, right cross, left hook, each punch landing with authority. Yet Ponce de Leon refused to back down. He absorbed punishment and fired back with savage power, forcing Mares to stay sharp at all times. There were moments when the fight teetered on chaos, with both men exchanging in the center of the ring, neither willing to give ground. Sweat flew, gloves thudded, and the sound of impact echoed through the arena like gunshots. By the middle rounds, Mares started to assert complete control. His footwork became more confident, his counters more precise. He punished Ponce de Leon's defensive gaps, especially when the Mexican fighter loaded up on power shots. Mares' bodywork was particularly devastating. Hooks to the ribs, straight shots to the solar plexus, slowly draining the strength of his opponent. You could see it in Ponce de Leon's face, the wear, the fatigue, the growing realization that skill was beginning to overpower sheer aggression. Still, the Mexican warrior kept coming, fueled by heart and pride, refusing to surrender, even as the tide turned against him. Then came the moments that shifted everything. Mares began landing clean, unanswered combinations that snapped Ponce de Leon's head back repeatedly. A sharp right hand cut through the guard, followed by a vicious left hook that sent shockwaves through the crowd. Ponce de Leon stumbled, but stayed upright, firing back desperately, trying to change the course with one massive shot. The exchange was brutal, raw, violent, and unforgettable. But Mares was now fully locked in. His defense tightened, his offense exploded, and his confidence soared with every clean punch landed. The pressure became unbearable. Mares unleashed flurries that overwhelmed Ponce de Leon, forcing him onto the ropes. The challenger's guard cracked under the assault, as punches slipped through from every angle. Uppercuts, hooks, straight rights, Mares threw them with surgical precision. The referee watched closely as Ponce de Leon absorbed punishment, his resistance fading with each second. The crowd rose to its feet, sensing the end was near. This was no longer just a fight, it was a statement. When the stoppage finally came, it was decisive and justified. The referee stepped in to save Ponce de Leon from further damage, waving off the bout as Mares stood tall, gloves raised, chest heaving with adrenaline. The arena exploded in celebration and disbelief. Abner Mares had not just won, he had dominated, proving himself against a dangerous opponent who had promised violence and delivered heart but could not match skill. The victory was a turning point, a moment that announced Mares as a serious force in the boxing world. As Ponce de Leon walked back to his corner, bruised but unbroken in spirit, the respect between warriors was evident. He had given everything, fought with courage, and tested Mares in ways few could. But boxing is unforgiving, and on this night, technique, intelligence, and composure triumphed over raw aggression. Mares' performance was a masterclass, calculated, ruthless, and fearless. This fight remains etched in boxing history as a thrilling showcase of what happens when heart meets precision. It was a reminder that championships are not just won with power, but with discipline, adaptability, and the will to rise under pressure. Abner Mares walked out of the ring that night stronger, sharper, and closer to greatness. Daniel Ponce De Leon walked out with his warrior spirit intact, having pushed a future champion to prove himself fully. For fans, it was everything boxing promises: drama, danger, and unforgettable moments.